Hello everyone, you're welcome back to another edition, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this session. Today we want to look at some specific objectives. We want to look at economics as a science. We look at economic methodology and the scope of economics, the importance of economics, normative and passive economics, and the basic concept of economics. Before we continue, I'd like to ask that you like, share, subscribe to our channel. By so doing, you are helping us to still continue in this online platform. So, I want to begin with economics as a science. Is economics a science? Yes, economics is a science. There have been a controversy in the past whether or not economics is a science. So, what is science? Science is a systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, testing of theories against the evidence obtained. It is a systematic body of knowledge consisting of laws governing a particular class of phenomena. Characteristics of science. Science deals with observation of certain facts. It also deals with the selection and classification of relevant data collected. Science also deals with the discovery of certain uniformity governing a particular class of phenomena, from which laws governing the phenomena are made. Lastly, science deals with testing the validity of the laws and theories. From the above deduction, we can also say confidently, yes, economics is a science because it has many laws like the pure sciences does. It also has all the characteristics of a science, which we mentioned earlier. Economics observes the behavior of man while engaging in his daily economic activities. The observation and data collected can then be classified, which will then form the basis for generalization and the formation of economic laws and principles. Example of these laws is the law of demand and supply, the law of variable proportion, the law of marginal utility, and so on. Also, in formulating economic laws, economists make some basic assumptions, just like the pure or physical scientists do. The method of studying economics is scientific. As such, it make use of inductive and deductive method as the pure or physical scientists do. So now, what kind of science is economics? Economics because it studies human behavior. Unlike pure sciences that study matter, economics is a social science. The physical science deals mainly with inanimate matters, which can be easily controlled under laboratory conditions. But economics deal with human behavior. Human beings have feelings, and their behavior is unpredictable. Different individuals may behave in different ways under identical conditions, unlike matter in the laboratory. Also, many economic laws are statements of tendencies that is things that are likely to happen, and their validities depend on certain pre-existing conditions. One can then say that the law of economics are not as precise as the law of physical science, and as such, economics is a social science and not a pure science. Economics is considered a social science because it employs scientific method to study how individuals, households, firms, and societies allocate scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants and needs. Economics rely on data analysis mathematical models, and empirical research to analyze economic behaviors and make predictions about future outcomes. However, it is important to note that while economics follow scientific principles, it also involves subjective values and societal norms, making it different from natural sciences. Economics as a social science study human behavior in relation to the production, distribution, consumption of goods and services. Its aims is to understand how individuals, businesses, and government make choices to allocate scarce resources to fulfill their unlimited wants and needs. Economics utilizes various scientific methods such as data analysis, mathematical models, and empirical research to analyze economic behaviors. These tools help economists study patterns, relationships, and trends to develop theories and make predictions about future outcomes in the economy. However, unlike natural sciences, economics also incorporates subjective values and societal norms. This is because economics decisions are influenced not only by objective factors like price and cost, but also by individuals' preferences, cultural beliefs, and societal expectations. Economics recognizes that human being is shaped by emotions. Economic methodology. Economics is the study of how scarce resources are allocated to different uses to satisfy human wants in the world. There is never enough time or money to do everything that we want. Economics as a social science attempts to use scientific method to observe the behavior of individuals and groups and then make predictions based on this observation. Scope of economics. Economics study man's activity in relation to production, exchange, distribution, and consumption. Economics deal with how people react to economic situations and how they behave while engaging in their daily economic activities. Economics deal with the administration of scarce resources in the society. Lastly, economics deal with what is, what was, and not what ought to be. Therefore, economics is not normative but a positive science. Importance of economics. Economics is important because it helps us to think rationally. Economics is important because it helps us also to understand how goods and services produced are being distributed. The knowledge of economics can also help us to give practical advice. The study of economics enables the individual to make right decisions on how to spend his income. Also, economics is important because it helps us to in the efficient allocation of scarce resources. It provides for us a framework for understanding how resources such as land, labor, and capital can be best utilized to meet the need and want of individuals and society as a whole. Economics help us in decision making. It provides individuals, businesses, and governments with tools and techniques to make informative decisions. It helps us in analyzing costs and benefits, evaluating trade-off, and understanding the consequences of different choices. Lastly, economics helps us to understand how markets work, how prices are determined, the activities of the invisible hands. It provides insight into supply and demand dynamics, market structure, and the behavior of buyers and sellers. This knowledge is crucial for business to make pricing and production decisions. Normative and passive economics. Normative economics refer to the study of how the economy should be based on value judgment and subjective opinions about what is desirable or ideal. It involves making recommendations and evaluating policies that can improve economic outcome. Normative economics often deal with questions of fairness, equity, and social welfare. Passive economics, on the other hand, involve a more descriptive approach to understanding and explaining economic phenomena. It focuses on observing and analyzing the behavior of individuals, firms, and markets without advocating for specific policy intervention or normative judgment. When applied to the concept of human, normative economics could involve discussion on how resources should be allocated to ensure a fair distribution of wealth and opportunities among individuals. It may also explore policies and intervention that promote social welfare and improvement. Basic concepts in economics. Concept of scarcity. Scarcity means the inability of human beings to provide themselves with all the things they desire or want. This problem is because material wants are unlimited, while the means or resources to satisfy them are scarce. Hence, we have to economize our resources and choose between competing alternatives. Concept of choice. Choice means selecting our resources among different competing economic ends. Since human wants are unlimited and the resources available to satisfy them are limited, choice is important and is constantly made between these alternative wants. For example, people would like people would like a lot of things, but not all of these things can these people be able to buy. They will have to choose the one that they need the most. When we choose one thing, we have to sacrifice some other things because our resources are not enough to satisfy both in the same time. Concept of want. Want means the desire or wish we have as to owning goods and services that give us satisfaction. Wants are also referred to as N. The basic need or want of man are food, shelter, and clothing. As such, these basic needs are satisfied, other needs will arise. This is why we say that human wants are unlimited. Concept of opportunity cost. Opportunity cost of a product is their alternative, which must be given up or sacrificed in order to satisfy another want. Opportunity cost is also referred to as the foregone alternatives. Economists emphasize that the true or real cost of anything is the alternative missed in order to buy its alternatives. For example, if a student have only 1,500 naira and he is faced with a choice between buying new leather sandal and an economic textbook, he cannot buy both if the price is 1,450 naira and 1,400 naira respectively. If the student buy the economic textbook, the opportunity cost will be the leather sandal. Opportunity cost reveal that every activity involves sacrifice or cost, which is measured by the foregone alternatives. Economists view opportunity cost as the true cost of a commodity. Concept of scale of preference. A scale of preference is a list of goods and services prepared for purchase. in order of priority or importance. It is a priority rating of all individual wants according to their importance in one's evaluation and the means to achieve or obtain them. Therefore, scale of preference is a list of individuals' wants in order of their respective importance. Scarcity of resources imposes a kind of spending discipline and compels the buyer to spend his limited means to those goods and services which are more urgent or pressing to him. As we come to the end of today's lesson, if you like our content, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. By so doing, we are helping our channel to grow and a lot of students to also learn. And we'll keep on bringing in good content as regards to learning. Learning is fun. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.